Welcome back, 412-575-2600 on the Borders and Borders hotline. Also taking your tweets at Josh Taylor HD. We start with George. He says, it seems like every year Boswell wins a game with a field goal as time expires, and that hasn't happened yet this year. So he's going to go 26-23 Steelers with a Boswell field goal as time expires. And he asked for my prediction. I'm looking more 20-14, 20-16-ish. I think both of these defenses are really, really good. I talked about that before. I don't know as many opportunities to get in the end zone are going to be there for these two offenses. I think it's going to be a little bit harder for these two teams to score. I expect a lot of field goals in this game on both ends. So I'm thinking more 20-16, 20-14-ish as far as a final score there. But at the same time, this should be a pretty entertaining game because I like what Buffalo's defense does. I even like how they've been able to bring Josh Allen along. He hasn't been great. He hasn't been spectacular, but he has made enough plays to get this team scoring enough points to win games. And I think that is the difference when you have a young quarterback, similar to the situation the Steelers are in with Doug Hodges. You don't have to have him pretty much dictating everything, but if he can make just enough plays to give their defense a lead and let the defense become more aggressive, it changes things significantly. I think Buffalo has that with Josh Allen. Plus, he's got a couple different receivers to throw to. The running game, not too bad as far as maybe the when you kind of weigh all this out, you do wonder how these two offenses handle a really good defense on either side of the ball. So that's what I'm looking forward to. Let's go to the phone lines, 412-575-2600. We start with my favorite Saturday night caller. It's Judy in Springdale. Good evening, Judy.
Hello.
Hello, Judy.
Are we going to have a moment of silence or mourning? It's not funny.
It's a funny question, Judy, but I'll tell you this much. I'm really, really happy for Slippery Rock getting that far to the semifinals.
Let me tell you
It's a difficult thing for them to do.
There was in our local paper, the Trib Live, there is a beautiful article of Chad in there, and it mentions his two brothers, too.
That's excellent.
They went to Kiski. Okay?
Okay.
So now what are we going to talk about?
You call in, we'll figure it out.
I'm going to look forward to seeing this tomorrow. That's what I think is neat.
Well, honestly, we'll figure that out as we go. Thanks for the call, Judy. For those who are familiar, Judy calls every week, gives me an update on Slippery Rock and Duquesne. Her grandsons play football for Slippery Rock and Duquesne. And once again, shout out to Slippery Rock to have that kind of undefeated season and go through that playoff atmosphere and that playoff setup week after week, having to play stretching into December. It really is an accomplishment, and that's nothing to laugh at. It's a really good accomplishment for Slippery Rock. Let's go to Josiah in San Antonio. Josiah, you're on the Nightly Sports Call.
Hey, Josh, how you doing tonight?
Good. How you doing, man?
Pretty good. Just two quick questions. Judy, she kind of touched on a comment I had first. I don't think it would be wise to play Edmonds simply because of the three-brother twin factors. When you got Karras White almost giving you 8 yards per carry, the story can be on the back burner. I hope Tomlin and them don't fall into that trap about the three twin brothers. Keep playing Karras White. My second point is quickly, Juju Smith-Schuster, I love the kid, but I'm starting to think he puts the party life a little bit ahead of the game. It just didn't look good. Him partying at Penn State, complaining about his knee, but he's missing another game. It's just not a good look, Josh.
Josiah, I appreciate the call. Let's start with the comment about Karras White. I like this offense. I like this running back group when Karras White is in it. I had this discussion earlier in the week on social media with my guy Josh Carney from Steelers Depot. We talked about this running back group and how it might be one of the best we've seen in maybe a decade or so, because now this running back group has it has a lot of different skill sets to it. You have James Conner, who plays a certain kind of way. You have Benny Snell, who plays a certain kind of way. You have Jalen Samuels, who plays a certain kind of way. Then you have Karras White, who not only plays a certain kind of way and is more of a shifty type guy, makes really solid cuts, he's also a pretty good kick returner. I like that running back with those four guys, and that's nothing against Trey Edmonds. I just think White gives you a little bit more as a change of pace, and I do like the three-brother story. I do think it's a great thing, but if you're looking at this with the intent of winning a football game, I think Karras White gives you a better chance to do it. And once again, that's nothing against Trey Edmonds. It's nothing against Trey Edmonds. It's really just the focus on having a running back group that's a little bit more diverse and can do more if something goes down. If you do lose James Conner or Benny Snell again, you still got two guys that can do different things, whether it's catching the ball out of the backfield in Jalen Samuels or making some plays in the run game like Karras White. Those two guys, I think, are really huge behind Benny Snell and James Conner. On the other thing with Juju Smith-Schuster, I'm of two minds about this. The first thing is, if Juju was not injured, I doubt we would not see him on the sidelines. If he was able to play, he'd be playing. I don't think what he does outside of football has anything to do with his injury or his ability to play. It really comes down to, for me, can you actually look at what he's done when he's healthy these past couple seasons? If you want to count the fumble against New Orleans and you want to count the fumble against Baltimore, feel free. I can think of maybe, for each of those plays, I can think of maybe 9 or 10 that he's made that have helped this team win games. So when Juju's healthy, he's about as helpful or more helpful as most of the guys on that team. When he's not there, it's going to be a different result. As far as what he does away from football, there's a lot of guys on this team doing stuff away from football. You just don't hear about all of it. Juju just happens to put it on social media. It just happens to be a little bit more publicized. But some of these guys are doing stuff away from football. You just don't hear about it. But since we hear about it, we get upset about it. And we have to try to make it all fit within the same context, and it doesn't. If Juju's healthy, he's playing, and I don't even think this is a big deal. Let's go back to Twitter. We will talk to Joe. It says, would you think it's fair to say Pitt has to win its bowl game in order for this to be considered a successful season? I think Pitt needs to win its bowl game because you're playing against Eastern Michigan. I don't even think it's the context of having a successful season. I think you feel maybe better about how they closed the season out, given the way they lost a couple of these games down the stretch. I don't know. It's hard to not call it a successful season. I predicted them to be 7-5 before the season started, so I guess I'm not that disappointed in how things went as far as their record. Maybe the games that they lost versus the games that they won. I think if you flip a couple of these around, I think if they don't lose some of these games, I think if they don't lose to Boston College and maybe, beat Penn State and don't beat UCF, I think maybe we feel a little bit different about how this season works. For Pitt, for me, it's not even the number of the wins and losses. It's the games that they lost and how they lost them. I think that's the more frustrating thing. But yeah, winning this bowl game, I think it's important just because they need to win it. They need to have something positive ending this season. They need to go out of this season with a good taste in their mouths, especially when, during their press conference, your coach comes out and says you're going to win the ACC championship within the next few years. So now you can't afford to say something like that and lay an egg against Eastern Michigan. You're going to look a lot worse doing that by comparison. We will take a break here. We'll come back, answer more tweets and calls when we come back. Stick around.
Portions of this program sponsored by FanDuel Sportsbook.